Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm doing great. Welcome to SOKy Nostalgia.
What? Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the finale of Season 2 of SOKy Nostalgia. Now, last week you heard Part 1 of this finale. Tonight you will hear Part 2. This is the last one of the season. We had to split it into two because we are long-winded.
Yes, very long-winded.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to do this like normal. We've got our intro. We've got stuff to cover. And then we'll get into the main topic, which is the most overrated bands.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know.
So weird.
I know.
Also, you never use a sound, so give me this.
Okay. I might need it back here in a minute, though. Anyway, as always, tonight, for SOKy Nostalgia, we're actually going to be joined by Sir Bradley, Mr. Alan Hogan, as well as Tiny.
You're popping your fingers each time.
I know.
Stop it.
But for this part here, tonight, before we get into the main topic, I am your host, The Matt.
I'm Kat.
Hi,
hey.
Kat.
You're dragging me into it again.
I know, because I like having someone to talk to when we discuss things.
Hey.
Yeah. So, as always, if you would like to reach us, we are at SOKyNostalgia@gmail.com, deadpanstudio18@gmail.com, our website, which will be updated before we get done with the hiatus, deadpan-studio.com. We also have social media, if that's how you fly.
How you fly?
That's right.
Grandpa? The fuck?
We're
That's how you fly, youngins. Go
right.
to the social medias.
That's how you roll.
And give us a follow. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. At SOKy Nostalgia and at deadpanstudio18, which is probably a better shot than you ever emailing us.
So bitter.
Yeah. It's a bitter pill to swallow. But if you are listening to us, that it means we're on one of these different streams.
Wow.
iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Spotify, as well as Podbean, which is what, Kat?
What?
It is our server.
Our server.
As well as another way to stream us. It's an app and a website, deadpanstudio.podbean.com.
Sorry, I always forget the name of my podcast Twitter because I was going to plug myself.
Go for it.
The history of _28. Boom.
That's
Look it up.
right. History of with Kat.
I'm going to learn you guys some stuff.
I hope so, because
And I know I keep talking about it.
I miss having you on mic.
Well, okay. I have the first episode recorded and done. Yes, it's done.
We're just gonna tease them.
Okay.
That's right. Anyway.
Well, anyways, I'm getting back on track with what I was going to do originally, which is like food and drinks.
Yeah.
But I'm putting, in light of recent events, I'm putting a spin on it in a positive way.
And that sounds wonderful to me.
Hell yeah.
By the way, once again. Wow, get ready to hit that button again because you know what? Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Now, I've said it before, racism has no place in my life.
Fuck no.
No. Of course, me being a white person, I suffer from white privilege.
Oh,
So,
we suffer from it.
well,
We have it.
we have
If
it.
you white, you got it. Doesn't
That's
mean your
right.
life can't be hard. Doesn't mean
Doesn't mean you
bad
haven't
things
worked
can't
hard.
happen to you.
That's right. Doesn't mean you haven't worked hard to earn everything you got. However, the struggle that you face isn't dependent on the color of your skin.
Word.
That's right.
I mean, you could have terrible parents, live in a terrible place, have trouble getting jobs, have all sorts of bad shit, but
Yeah.
still. I think
And-
some people, well, I think a lot of white people think that it means that we can't struggle, and it's like, no, you can have trouble with money, you can have trouble with
Oh, yeah.
diseases, you can have
Everything.
bad family members, toxic friends, like all sorts of bad shit can
no
happen
matter
to you.
what race you are, you will struggle. So yeah.
Yeah, but
that you know, and people
white
say,
people are privileged
yeah,
the
white
world
people are
over.
privileged. And that's the difference with
Doesn't mean we can't have
Black
hard times.
Lives Matter and All Lives Matter. Yes, we get it. All lives do matter. But look, all the people screaming All Lives Matter are usually quoting scripture. So here, read the Bible. There's an old what do you call them? A parable?
Like a story or a paragraph?
Story.
Or a verse? What?
There's a story in
It's
the
been
Bible
a while since I cracked
about,
open that book.
Jesus is shepherding
Parable.
100 sheep.
Sorry, I'm stuck on the word parrot. A story.
Yeah, it's a
from
story.
the Bible.
Jesus is shepherding 100 people.
Sheep.
100 sheep, yes.
Bah.
Yes. And he turns around, he's looking around, and he's like, hold on, now we're missing one. I need to go find him. I need to go help him. This one could be hurting. And so he goes off to find it, and the other 99 sheep are going, wait a second. Well, what about us? Aren't we important? And he goes, yes, you're important as well. However, you're not the sheep that is in danger right now. That is Scripture.
Word.
Go check it out if you don't believe me. I don't care.
So many people, I think, they think just because black people are going to start rightly gaining more things, like the right to not be attacked all the time.
That white people are going to lose something.
You're not going to lose shit. Like, if you want stuff, then work for it.
Yeah.
That shit is not going to change. It's just going to make it easier for people who it should have been easier for freaking hundreds of years ago.
Exactly.
Like, damn.
So
you're not going to lose your job. Your pay's not going to decrease. You're not going to be any better or worse unless you make your situation worse or you make your situation better.
That's right.
If you want better pay, work for better pay. You want a better job, work for a better job. If you want less shit friends, get rid of them. Like,
straight up.
That goes for anybody. Just because another group's going to hopefully get way better treatment doesn't mean the other groups are going to lose anything.
That's right. Well, the only thing they're going to lose is fear, because they'll realize that there was nothing to be scared of in the first place. And that's the whole thing. They're all afraid of losing something, but they're not.
Yeah, but they're not.
They can gain self-respect. They can gain humanity and a soul. Anyway, let's get into the next.
Racist bad.
Yes, racism is very bad, and here at Deadpan Studio Podcast, we do not condone it.
Hell no.
No, we stand up for any person of any color when they are done wrong. So,
also, to our fellow white people, stop being stupid.
yeah, Jesus.
Good Lord.
Stop being stupid.
Stop
white.
it.
Yeah.
You're fine.
If stupid white was a crayon, it would be you. Stop it. Anyway.
About as useful as a white marker.
in an ice field. Yeah.
In an ice field.
Yeah, snowfield, something.
White paint, I don't know, something really stupid.
Yeah, something about white on white doesn't work. Anyway, let's go into the next part where we're going to talk about some of the news outside of what we were just talking about. These are actual articles I've pulled up to talk about because they're interesting in both a good and a bad way. The first one, Kat, is that the Glasgow Daily Times here in Glasgow, Kentucky, our newspaper that has been in here for I don't even know how long, decades upon decades, they have closed down their printing department completely. Their printing and have moved completely from paper to digital.
See, I would get doing way less printing of papers, but there's still
There's so many things they could do before they just completely switch over. You know, they could have switched to doing one weekly paper. You know, that way they don't have to have as many editors and writers and stuff like that working on trying to get a
that
paper
just
out
means
every
less
single
jobs,
day.
which no one wants.
Right, but it's better than having no jobs. So, you know, you wouldn't lose the printing person. You wouldn't.
Well, there's so many old people. Like old people are just people who like they can use the internet and stuff, but like there's something about having, you know, I love reading on my Kindle or on my phone or whatever. Yeah. Somebody you just want to hold a newspaper. You want to hold a book.
You're exactly right.
You don't want to. And what if like someone's internet goes down? Like you could have the power go out, but if you got a freaking Kindle, you can still read.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you lose your charger to your tablet, you can still get a book. Like, and there's so many older people that, you know, they probably have this little routine, like, you know, retired people, semi-retired people. Imagine them making their coffee, going to get the newspaper, or they go down to the gas station or something, picking it up. Like, and also there's so many things people can use newspaper for, like, after they're done. You know, there's, like, so many crafts, and I think since I'm getting more and more into gardening and stuff, like, there's practical uses for it afterwards. And plus the comics, oh my gosh, how are kids going to collect the comics and hoard them like I did when I was a kid? If it's not in print.
Yeah.
Going to hoard it on the you can't save it on the website. And like, what if the website crashes? No. And, you know.
I don't know. That's like I mean, of course, I'm a geek. I read comics.
Are you still gonna have to pay for it too?
Well, yeah, subscription, yeah.
Yeah, but then like
subscription. I don't know. I think it's wrong to. There's so many things they could have done beforehand, but it was a surprise. You know, they pretty much the editor walked, or the owner, publisher Bill Hansen.
What are they gonna do with the printing presses? Like, you're just gonna have a bunch of stagnant equipment. Like all this equipment from all this stuff is just sitting there now. Like that's wasteful. Yeah, it's stupid.
And of course, they blame the coronavirus, which I get it, but do something. You're an institution. You bring the news to the people. Yeah. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I keep getting choked up here.
Well, there's so many different parts of a newspaper. There's the sports, obituaries, marriages, births,
announcements.
the
lost and found.
Well, I think sometimes, there's this thing about walking into like a gas station or places that have a newspaper, and there's a bunch of stuff they put on the front that I don't really think like deserves it. But sometimes you see that and it catches your eye, and it like, even if you don't buy the newspaper, sometimes they put really important things like this person's missing or this big thing's happening, and it grabs your attention. Like, I feel like there's gonna be people that are gonna start forgetting to check their phone for the newspaper.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It seems silly. Like a magazine, I can understand, because the way a magazine's formatted anyway, the way you flip through it, that's easier to comprehend already on any device where any number of apps you swipe to get to the next thing, a match, a picture, a page. But like, I don't know, there's going to be so many older people or just people who aren't super tech savvy that are going to just like, I don't know, how are they going to format it?
I don't know, but that brings me to the next point of, this is a local business as well. So even though they are digital people, if you can afford it, subscribe to it, keep that going, because yes, we do have another local newspaper, which I do enjoy. However, both newspapers kind of lean one way or the other, and I kind of like to get both sides so that I can find as much information as possible to make my informed decisions on things, on how I'm supposed to believe, and the news stories in which way and the ways that they're going to go.
Well, as long as newspapers and magazines have existed and are going to exist, there's always going to be like leaning more towards this side or more towards this side, or showcasing these subjects more than these subjects, and that's fine. Yeah. I mean, as long as you don't let yourself become too biased.
Yeah, Tuesday, June 9th was when the last issue went out. So,
also, I feel like how long ago did they release that they were permanently moving to digital?
No, it was the night before. They said that's it.
Wait. Couldn't even give people like, so
I think the higher ups knew.
Well, then they should have told the public.
But the people down below didn't, because there was an influx of a flowing of people away from the Daily Times with new jobs elsewhere. News articles saying, "I've enjoyed my time. I'm going to go here. I've enjoyed my time here. I'm going to."
Well, yeah, but that's not the same as saying, "Hey, you're not going to get a paper at your mailbox every day." Yeah, every week, like. But people wouldn't connect, oh, this person's moving on, to I'm not going to get a newspaper ever again. Like, I wouldn't connect it like that. Yeah. And are people that are paying for it to be delivered to their house, is that going to transfer into digital? Mm-hmm. Well.
Yeah. Next one is I say kind of local, Scottsville, which is about 20 some odd miles south of us. Their police department is partnering with neighborhood, quote-unquote, See Something, Say Something application, which is a part of Neighbors by Ring. It's supposed to help reduce crime in the community. It's sort of like, if you see something or know something, let us know through this app. It'll be anonymous and so on and so forth. And I know police are getting a lot of heavy flack right now. I'm a believer in good policing. They do their job. Of course, like I said, racism has no place in my life. So any bad police officer, or no matter what race that they do anything bad to, I do not condone it. I think some police departments get way too much funding. I think there should be. Oh, yeah,
they're overfunded.
I can't remember. There was one police department in Los Angeles. They had a surplus of $185 million.
What the fuck are they going to do with that? Like, how many?
Do you realize how many people you can feed for $185 million? There's people on the streets. So yeah, 185
Unless they're putting
million
that
surplus.
towards solving crimes.
No.
They're probably putting it towards equipment, which I mean they need, but
A lot of times though they get like
how about you feed the kids that are starving in your neighborhood?
yeah, exactly.
Like,
that's the thing. You know, they get some
children
sort of vouchers
in
for
America that don't get food,
well, it's like here in Glasgow.
even if their parents love them dearly.
A few years ago, the police department got a surplus of U.S. military vehicles to use, such as for their SWAT team and things like that, which includes not just like, you know, of course they got some SUVs. They got those. They got big Hummers and stuff like that were being used, but they also got like armor and stuff like that too. The point is, you know, there is good policing. There is a point to have police because people commit crimes. There should be a way to hold people accountable, and right now, police are the best thing we've got. The bad thing is, we do have a number of bad apples in there that are completely ruining the entire bushel. It's awful.
You know, you can actually be too smart to be a cop.
Yeah.
Because
That's
they
why
don't
give you
want
an
you to
IQ
speak
test.
out.
Well, they give you an IQ test too, so.
But too smart to help people and solve crimes and be a protector.
Yeah.
How can you be too smart?
I hope with some really
You
good...
should be really smart
Here's what I'm hoping.
and physically fit to do that.
With some really good national police reform and accountability types of programs.
Oh, a shit ton of reform.
I do think that we can get back on the right track with police and the boys in blue. This app right here, I think, is a good idea because it allows people to report things that they see. Now, you do not need a Ring device or anything to participate. Anyone with a camera can upload content to the app. In the event of a crime pattern in a certain area, police may request video surveillance through your device. So check it out. You can download that. Text "Join Today" to 555-888. But you can always make reports by calling their department as well. Anyway, next news story.
Well, you do that anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone can call and be like, here's an anonymous tip.
We'll get to this one because I really like this
I
one.
had
We'll quickly
I had
touch
a question
on.
or a thought, but then I forgot.
It's okay. If you remember, you can ask and we'll jump back to
Wait,
it.
hold on. You're
Yeah.
talking so fast.
I'm sorry.
I was trying to remember. Damn it.
It's okay. If you think of it, we can go back. It's no
I'm
problem.
not going to remember.
right.
Because they're going to tell me 6 more things. I'm going to forget.
Governor Beshear, here in the good old state of Kentucky, he announces plans to ensure health care for the entire black community, which is a good thing to me.
Doesn't mean we lose anything, white people, so shut the hell
And
up.
You can still get free health care, by the way. Anybody, no matter
Get a
what race
job.
you are, you can still go
Yours.
get free health care. You know, there's some people that don't realize that. They think, you know, President Cheesehead got rid of Obamacare. No, he did not. What he
didn't.
No, what he got rid of was the mandate that said if you do not get
If
health
he
care,
did, then I'm getting spam emails from Obamacare.
see, that's the thing. They think he got rid of it. No, what he did was he got rid of the mandate. There's very few things positive that this man's done, and I'll actually back him up on this because this one made a lot of sense to me.
One thing.
Yeah. You do not fine somebody for not getting health care. You give them a big bill. Anyway, it's their choice whether or not they want to get health care. What he did,
I got it.
yeah. What the president did is he got it through to where he would eliminate the mandate to have it, which means you're no longer going to be subject to fine and or imprisonment if you do not get health care.
But like, if it's free, why would
It's free.
you
Oh no, I
not?
understand that.
Like, if it doesn't cover anything you need specifically, I guess don't bother. But like, I mean, everyone needs something basic.
But that's the thing. There's a little areas in which, like, you may be working at a job where you're sent out somewhere that your health care can't cover you, or they don't have, or somehow their health care had lapsed. There's a million different scenarios, which means that you don't have health care right now, and you do not want to get that free health care because you want the current health care that may have lapsed, but you still want it. That mandate meant, well, fine, if you don't have that right now, you better sign up for us. If you don't, we can't fine you. So that's gone. So, and it goes into your taxes, by the way.
But don't act like you can't get it, people.
Yeah, and everybody can get it. Now, so that brings us back to the news story. His plan, he says, he's saying inequalities are everywhere, which is true.
Oh hell yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So
Been true since forever.
So basically, he's building an effort to cover 100% individuals of Black or African American communities.
Hell yeah.
And like I said, it's not because we're going to repeat this
Now,
till we're
that's...
blue in the face.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So he's offering that, but that doesn't mean they have to take it. Or if they have a job where they already get pretty good health care.
Here's what he's quoted.
Like, you don't need double.
He quoted that his goal is for everybody to have health care coverage,
Yes.
but said this is the time to start the group who has been racially oppressed.
Since
everybody's going to get health care, he's starting with this one. So,
yeah. Because again, racism exists.
Which brings us into this next news story, which is a very positive news story, and I love this. And
well, you didn't answer my question.
I'm sorry. What was your question?
Say a Black person already has like a pretty decent job or whatever, and like say they work at a bank like you. Mm-hmm. You have healthcare through your job, right?
Yes.
So if they have that, they don't need the free.
Correct.
So it's like, it's not like every single Black person in the entirety of Kentucky doesn't have health care and is going to get the free health care. If they already have it in some way, or if they've already signed up for it, they're fine.
Yeah.
So again, white people, calm the hell down.
An anti-racism Kentucky is a new coalition formed to end systematic racism. It was created by Terrence O'Sullivan and O.J. Oleka. I hope I pronounced that right. If not, if you two are listening to this somehow, I mean no offense by mispronouncing
or like
the names.
Or like your third cousin's
yes.
second best friend hears this.
They're looking.
I feel like you said all the names except the second guy's last name right. I don't know. Just because you're so
Terrence Sullivan and O.J. Oleka.
Say it again. You're gonna mess it up again.
Yeah. Anyway, these are two very smart University of Louisville undergrads who both went to law school. And it's not a partisan. They're just working to try and make this a nonpartisan idea. It's not a partisan idea. Everybody should be for this. It's just a coalition to fight racism, be anti-racist. There's,
imagine
it's harder than what you would think. It really is, because it's so ingrained in today's society, and I'm not condoning it, and I'm not endorsing.
Also,
that,
I want to point out that's not just white people that are racist against not white people. Like,
oh no, there's
plenty of groups. We're all kind of fighting with each other all the time, but it seems exhausting to wake up every day and have to be like, oh, gotta remember to hate Black people and hate Mexicans, and if they piss me off by doing nothing, go on a rant and yell at them for 5 minutes. Like, God, that'd be so tiring.
Basically, what they're going to
wake up and remember to be so angry and hateful towards a group every day of your
basically
life.
What this coalition is doing right now, they're starting out with a survey.
Y'all tired?
Hold on now.
Sorry.
That's okay. And now what this coalition is wanting to do is they're wanting to start with a survey, and basically what that does, it gives them information to say, okay, well, this area needs more focus than, say, this other area in terms of, racism and things like that. There is a survey. You can get it at Anti-Racism Kentucky. That's on Twitter. It's also on Facebook. And if you type in anti-racism, one word, Kentucky, anti-racism, then Kentucky, and then go find out the survey, go fill it out. It's very simple. I filled it out yesterday, so hot dog. But so I really
what
wanted
does
to touch
the
on
survey do? Is it like...
well, I'll show you.
Is it like you saying how many racists you think are around you? Yeah, there's some real terrible people over here. Come help us.
It's pretty much, it's allowing them to review different areas in which institutional racism may be affected, like criminal justice, education, agriculture, workplace.
I don't think I know enough about that to answer their questions.
They're not that bad, but I just wanted to touch on that. Now we're going to get into some more, get into a lighthearted story, then a tragic one, and then just a weird one.
Is this lighthearted or is this the weird one?
This is kind of funny.
Well,
in Florida, now we're going
man.
We're leaving local. We're going into national.
It's like, what was it? Florida's like open records. So the reason we see so many accounts of Florida man or Florida woman does this thing is just because. Yeah. it can't. It's information that's allowed to be released.
Well, this
But
one
it's also
is,
ridiculous.
police have reported that a Florida man lets a 12-year-old drive Jeep 85 miles an hour.
Now,
He
where?
let
where?
no, hold on. There's some really interesting things here. The
Okay.
very first line of this says he let a 12-year-old girl drive his SUV and told her to speed because he wanted to be a cool father, quote unquote, even though he is not her dad.
Wait. It's not
He-
even her dad.
He told the
Who the
arresting
fuck
officer
is he driving with?
that he is friends with the girl's mother and that the girl and her friend were staying with him for a few days.
So he wants to be her dad.
He said the girl asked earlier in the day if she could drive his Jeep, so he thought it would be cool, quote unquote, and he was trying to be a quote unquote cool father.
Yeah, maybe go 10 miles an hour around your neighborhood once and
He
then go
also
home.
he also told officers he had been drinking.
Oh, Lord.
It gets better.
Could have just bought her a Barbie Jeep.
I know. He said in the arrest report, it said that they spotted the Jeep make an illegal U-turn. This is police, and then speed away at about 12:10 a.m. This is already in the middle of the night.
Not even during the day. Like, you should be asleep.
It was an 85 mile per hour speeding in a 45 mile an hour zone.
Oh, it's every word you say. This gets
When
worse.
the cop asked the 12-year-old why she was driving so fast, she said that the guy told her to.
That's not her dad in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
85
So
miles an
right
hour.
now he's been charged with neglect, allowing an unauthorized person to drive and causing a minor to become a delinquent for buying the girl's vape pens. He says they requested, by the way.
Doesn't mean you do it. How badly do you like the woman? Jesus.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is in Palm Beach, Florida, if you would like to know. And his name is...
Well, I don't gotta dox his information.
Why? It's right here.
Well, yeah, but they can look it up.
Okay. Yeah,
So
go ahead and look it up.
he's-
There's a picture of him, too, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like somebody
Okay,
who let a
so-
12-year-old drive 85.
So many questions. So he's obviously desperately trying to win over the kids of a woman he's obviously very interested in.
I guess it's because,
guess, but
yeah,
he's
I guess
just
if he
doing
wins
it.
over the girl, he'll really win over the girl.
But instead of like middle of the day, taking her out, because schools are closed, taking her out for like lunch, talking to her, being like, looking at what stores or whatever open, like, where do you want to go? Like, what haven't you gotten to do?
Yeah.
Normal, maybe up and down the street they live on. I mean, shouldn't let her drive at all, but like, first of all, don't be drunk. Don't buy her vape pen just because she's asking, because that's stupid. And maybe go like 10 miles an hour up and down your street that you live on, like 2 times max.
Yeah.
And then like go get ice cream with the whole family or something. But like
No.
past midnight, you're drunk, bought them vape pens, 85, like not even the speed limit. Not even going the speed limit.
85.
Say you get the vape pens. Say it's 12:30 at night. At least go the speed limit and tell her, "Hey, don't make a U-turn. Don't make a U-turn. And also, don't be drunk."
Yeah. All right, let's go to we've got two more. This one is
I wonder.
still national. This is...
I wonder what the mom thinks.
Who knows?
It's like,
Now, this has to do with... do you remember hearing the story about these 2 kids from Idaho that were missing? They've been missing since like August or September, but the family didn't really notice them being gone since December. So we're still looking at... It's already
no, the
June.
grandmother of the little boy, she was reaching out
That's
because
right.
they had lied
Yeah.
to some people that saying that he was staying with them, and she was like, no, we haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Now, what's really crazy about this story, and I'm hoping we can turn this into an episode by the...
Oh, this is gonna definitely be an episode.
First of all, remains have been found on the property of the boyfriend or the dad.
It's the stepdad. I think
The
they actually
stepdad.
got married. They're just terrible people.
Yeah. And
We'll say the last name just in case. Or can it's
it's right here.
Starts with a V and then
Chad Daybell. Yeah.
no, the last name of the kids.
Here, let me just read through some of the news story.
Starts with a V, doesn't it?
Do it.
The last name of the children.
Oh, Vallow.
Vallow. Okay.
7-year-old Joshua J.J. Vallow and his 17-year-old sister Tylee Ryan hasn't been seen in so long, and their mother wouldn't give a straight answer about where they were. So we've already got No, the mother's not opening things up to it. You've got mysterious deaths of the mom's former spouse and the stepdad's former spouse. And the stepdad is also into some sort of Christian cult. So we've got doomsday cult-like beliefs, which led to a sudden move of this family into Hawaii, which is where the police picked them up.
But then the kids were nowhere to be found.
Yeah. Now, I'm not going into... It's very hard to organize everything that's gone on in the crazy that I just spouted.
Tragic.
As you can tell. Okay, the funny thing about this guy is he used to do a podcast.
Oh, Lord have
talking
mercy.
about Christ's second coming.
Yeah.
Said the wife said she claimed to be a god assigned to carry out the work of the 144,000 at Christ's second coming next month in July.
Oh, wow. Be on the lookout for that. Crazy pants.
Yeah, because, after, Murder Hornets, we're going to have Christ's second coming.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be turned into an episode.
Yeah, we might do that for BSF.
We'll do, we'll do a really good, organized timeline,
Look into Lori Daybell and Chad Daybell, audience, and check this case out. It is so screwed up. We'll actually be a lot more organized with it when we do an episode about it. So.
Well, I can go ahead and say some of the remains were confirmed to be the boy. Because that's already information that's out there.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. So it's the boy, and then it'll probably it'll
end up being Tylee, who also had special needs.
Yeah,
and I hate to say had, but also it's like, well, it was either they were stuck in a doomsday bunker somewhere, running out of food, or passed away. I don't know. You
want to go into the weird / funny to get out of this little funk of a messed up story into another messed up story?
I can see the title from here. It's real fucked up.
Yeah, monkeys. This is going into. I already said monkeys, so you already know it's going to be crazy. International news: monkeys steal coronavirus patient blood samples from lab tech in India.
Yes, that's the sentence. That's the title. That's the thing that happened.
Eyewitnesses reportedly saw one of the monkeys...
Did they just have, the window open or something? I don't know. Letting in a breeze to the lab.
But it says, eyewitnesses reportedly saw one of the monkeys chewing on a sample collection kit at the top of a tree.
Oh, God.
Oh, they said a troop of monkeys attacked medical official and stole the blood samples belonging to patients who had tested positive.
Jesus. Yeah, monkeys get real wild down there. It's like, calm, steals your stuff.
On the plus side, no evidence has been found that monkeys can contract it.
Yeah, but where are they taking it? Do they get it back? Hello?
And of course, as you can imagine...
I think monkeys have just, secret stashes of all the shit they've stolen from people, in India over the last, forever. All the tools and the jewelry and, Lord knows what else. Just stockpiles, here's where my grandfather took his treasures, and where you will take your treasures someday too, my...
You can imagine Twitter is having a field day. One of them says, did anyone have monkeys attacking lab assistant on their bingo card? I had pigs with AR-15s and murder hornets, but no monkeys making off with slide samples.
Also, where are the murder hornets? Yeah. I don't want to see one, but I feel like we glazed over that.
Coronavirus. Monkeys escape with COVID-19 samples after attacking lab assistant. And 2020 wins for most disaster movie opening sequences in real life ever.
How bad do you think that lab assistant feels?
Oh,
I hope they're okay.
I don't. What do you think he feels worse for? Losing the samples or getting his ass beat by a bunch of monkeys?
I don't know. Depends on how many scratches he got.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It must have been what attracted the monkey? They must have been shiny or something, or just so unusual looking. They're must steal.
Maybe
because them stealing food or shiny fun looking stuff, I totally get that. But what attracted them to blood?
Who knows?
In tubes,
Well, that's the news for the week. Okay, so we've already got a closing for the show that was already recorded when we recorded the episode. Thank you, Kat, for coming in and allowing me to torture you with some news stories while we did a new intro for this episode that we split in half.
Again.
So last couple of things I would say, I can be a little more eloquent than I was when we closed the episode because we were running very long. We were all very tired.
Yes.
Thank you, audience, for supporting us, downloading us, streaming us, telling your friends about us.
Hell yeah.
Continue that on. because next we're going to have Kat's podcast.
I'm working on it.
That's right. And then after her show is done, we'll take another 2-3 weeks hiatus. Then we're going to go right into BSF Season 2. It's going to be
You'll get to hear me
awesome.
Harassing the Matt on mic again.
Yeah. We might. We're probably going to do an episode dedicated to that crazy news story we were talking about. We were already talking about maybe doing one about the Mandela effect.
Yeah, well, yeah, we got kind of a direction that we're going in for this season.
Yes.
It's a little bit different.
Weird and strange. And don't worry, audience. I know some of our highest, rated and downloaded episodes were some of the games. Don't worry. We will have the return of 2 episodes of games.
Ooh.
Oh.
I want to do that.
So.
I want to run the games.
She wants to
At
run
least
one.
one.
So we will have these. So don't worry, because
We need to
Tiny,
do a filler episode of just playing Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, well, that was our finale last year.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't have to be our finale. I just want like a filler episode.
But see,
I just want to play the game again.
Tiny has to defend his title.
Okay.
His little plastic wrestling belt I found.
I'll come up with something real cool.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you, audience. Are we ready to go into the main topic?
Yes. Oh. Yay, cheers.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next season.
Boy.
We get to get into a fun part.
I think this one's going to be a lot more vocal.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. I'm ready. Let's go.
Overrated.
This is going to get heated.
Since we all kind of had...
We're all going to be friends after this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So since we kind of all just...
Except Alan.
We all actually did have something to say for every genre. Let's just start with country music then, since we started with country before. Country...
Ooh. Can I go first?
I bet he's going to say the exact same person I've got on here.
I really hope so, because we think the same way.
Go ahead.
Watch it be different.
Well, what is this? Wait a minute. What are we doing?
Overrated.
We're moving to overrated.
Oh, okay.
Overrated country.
Yeah.
Garth Brooks.
No.
You died. You die in a flaming pit of hell.
Alan, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he's not a great artist. He was a great artist and still is a great performer. But I think the problem with Garth Brooks is that he moved from being an artist to being a performer. And that is the problem that I have.
I cannot agree with that, because he's an artist that knows how to perform. That man, when I saw him on his comeback tour in 2014, he was doing 2 shows a night in every city he went to. 2 shows a night. And he never missed a beat, man. Like, his voice.
I can't believe they didn't mention this person.
There's no way that I consider Garth Brooks ever to be overrated. Now, I might consider the Chris Gaines album to be a very misstatement.
But that's not country. And that's a completely different person.
Well, that's another story.
Yeah, I can't even count that. Yeah, but no, I get it. He's a great artist, and again, a great performer. I've never seen him live. I would go see him. I'm not saying that I dislike him. I just think he got a lot of blow up that maybe didn't get deserved at that point. And,
are you talking in his original run?
Yeah. I'm
his
definitely
post
talking.
leaving his wife Patricia Yearwood run.
Well,
post San Diego
I'm
Padres
definitely
run. Remember that?
By the time, let's see, what album was that where he had the red and black checkered shirt?
All of them. Sorry, I'm thinking of the concerts he put on.
It's the one that had Colin Baton Rouge.
Was it No Fences?
No Fences was way earlier than that. No Fences was like his
country.
first album.
Yeah.
But no, the one that had Colin Baton Rouge.
This will go for 4 hours.
I thought by that point he was just overblown.
How about somebody else I've got in mind?
Oh, you're talking about In Pieces, Tiny.
What
Yes,
about
sir.
what about Keith Urban?
Keith Urban, I don't think he's overrated.
I agree with Alan.
Keith Urban, Keith Dead Eyes Urban.
No, I don't believe he's overrated.
I don't
I'm
believe he's
actually
overrated.
going to agree with this. I don't think he is.
And let me tell you
Wow.
why. It's
Yeah.
because I believe him when he sings.
And
I
he
don't.
kind of shreds the guitar, so
You need to look up.
But he doesn't
him doing
play
a live
country
acoustic.
music.
You need to look up a video of him playing a live acoustic version of "You'll Think of Me," and you tell me that is not a country performance.
I have
That's
seen
not a country song.
No, he's never even
There
tried
is-
venturing into country music. I'm sorry. If
There
you
is so
look at his
much
eyes, he is
feeling.
completely dead inside with what he's doing. He wished that he could have made it in a different genre, but he said, "I can do it in country
Dude,
because I can't make
you've
it anywhere
got to
else."
look up that video, man. I'm telling you, you'll feel it. You will feel it.
I will say this: it's
It had me thinking that maybe him and Nicole Kidman were going to get a divorce. That's how powerful that performance was.
See, this is where we're going to agree to disagree.
I mean, it really also comes down to the departure of what people feel is country music because it's evolving.
I don't
And
think
there-
he would have made it as big if he wasn't as pretty. That is my
that's
opinion.
a lot of people.
Yeah,
Can
Hey,
I-
look at
I
Garth
don't
Brooks.
know,
That
man.
man ain't pretty.
It's kind of hard to say that because there's a lot of pretty people that are very talented.
Can I just interject here
Yeah.
for 2 seconds? Personally, in my opinion, if it came out after the year 2000, I don't think it was country. I think it was hip hop, and
I can go with
most
A
of
lot
those
of it,
people fit into that. Don't get me wrong, Dirk Bentley, Brad Paisley, Keith Urban, they all fall in kind of the same category. I consider it pop country. It's not true country.
I don't. I consider that stuff to be more like Jason Aldean kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jason.
There's a very fine line between pop country and hip hop and country music with feeling in it. Like if you can feel it and you're in the country genre, that's country music. You know. I
Okay,
mean,
so let me throw a name out here, and I want to see how everybody feels about this. Brantley Gilbert.
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Have no fucking clue because country shit.
I'm sorry. I really enjoy Brantley Gilbert,
I do too.
but I do not consider him country music.
No, Brantley is more. He's rugged, man. Like
It-
he's. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that people our
Sit over here
age
and play
was
the
saying the
spoon.
same thing about
That's what I was gonna say. It's all a generation thing because
about Johnny Cash. I
Yep.
bet there was so many people who could not stand Johnny. Oh, that ain't country.
yeah,
Fuck
they
him.
said he was rock. They said he was rock music. Actually,
Give
That
me
was
some
so-
of that Hank Senior.
Yeah,
Yeah. So somebody else Dewey Cox.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
What are you talking about? Song about holding hands.
By the way, Dewey Cox will now be
Okay.
available on Netflix and Hulu this next month.
God bless.
So,
Let's
Sorry,
move
had
on.
to
Let's
break-
move on.
Oh,
had to break the tension there.
Who was it? There was somebody else I was going to say was overrated. And, oh well. They must
It's all right.
not be
If
worth
you think it up,
it must not be worth it.
maybe. If you think of it, you can mention it. We'll go back. Okay, so Tiny. Okay, now we're back into rock. So who have we all chosen for this?
I have one that's overrated and underrated.
Who's that?
Mr. Dave Matthews.
For rock music?
Ooh.
What do you,
For
what do you
rock
consider?
music?
What do you
That's-
consider him?
I
that's-
consider him more
that's
alternative.
college.
and-
Yeah,
College
that's
alternative?
like
I
college.
think-
Yeah.
If I
See,
had any of their albums, it would have been tossed out the window.
For their
Don't
fans.
hate jam rock, but I
Now, don't get me wrong. They
the
are
fans.
overrated like nobody's business.
For the fans of Dave Matthews, I think they overrate him. For the people that just absolutely hate Dave, I think he's underrated.
I've seen him
So,
perform. He was friends with a guy that lived in one of the fraternities at the college I went to my freshman year, and he came down and just sat down and started playing in the quad. He sucks.
Really?
Yeah. This was back in 2001.
Well, also
2002.
Kiss.
Well, he might have had an off.
Okay.
I mean, we all do have those, but he is.
Really,
Oh,
I expected
God.
more of a reaction.
Well, here's the
Did
thing.
you
Here's
did
the
you
thing.
say that Kiss is underrated or
Overrated?
I said over.
Here's the thing.
Oh, I don't think they're overrated.
Kiss has never ever put themselves out to be more than what they are. They know their lyrics are okay.
I will say this about Kiss though. I don't think their ballads get enough recognition.
They've got some really good
Paul
ballads.
Stanley is an incredible songwriter.
They have some amazing musicians in their grasp. Bruce Kulick,
yeah.
amazing arranger, songwriter, guitar player. Bruce Kulick.
And if you can watch Detroit Rock City and still think they're overrated, then
Eric Singer, amazing drummer, great
Look.
voices.
I'm sorry. My opinion is just that they're great merchandise salesmen.
Well, that
Oh,
goes without
come
saying.
on. Wait a minute. Gene Simmons is a great merchandise salesman.
Okay, that's true.
Paul Stanley is an artiste.
I was gonna say they're great performers in my opinion, but like musically, I think they're overrated.
They've never been put into a.
I knew I liked you for some reason.
See, I don't think they're overrated because they've never been put into a box that says they write such amazing music. They do
Right.
have rabid fans because they put on a great stage show.
I think they are popular for all the wrong reasons.
If they had sold 20 billion albums and then half sold out, performances in stadiums, I could understand that more. But it's the fact that they sell a lot more tickets to see them live than they do sell albums. And to me, I don't think that's being overrated. I think that's them knowing what they're good at.
Now, they are not the only band that's a merchandise salesman. And,
Oh, no, not at all.
I mean, the Beatles are too.
Oh,
But,
Hey,
No, listen to me.
hey,
I enjoy the Beatles.
it's not them. It was Michael
You-
Jackson. It was a great.
you better find
I
a tailor
enjoy
to measure
the
you for a
Beatles.
lightning rod, buddy.
I enjoy the Beatles. But there's no
no.
way that they're the best band ever. Come on, people.
hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're not the best band ever. They're just
Well,
better than Rolling
they're put
Stones.
on that pedestal. That's why they're overrated.
Matt, so
Yes.
But
You-
my definition of overrated is being extremely popular and not really having any talent whatsoever.
Yes.
Tiny, you were saying?
yeah, I was just gonna say you were actually the person that turned me on to a lot of the non-popular Kiss music, and so I have to. It's not because of that, but I have to lean towards you with them not being overrated because I agree. They never were put in the position to say, oh, they're writing these, amazing masterpieces. No, we knew when we bought a Kiss album or we went to see Kiss perform, we were going to hear like 4 chords and talk about sex the whole time.
Yeah.
And that was the draw. Like,
Oh.
that is what they did.
I thought you
I
were talking
can't-
ACDC there for a moment.
I'm not gonna. I can't comment because I'm not really a big fan of their more popular songs. I'm a fan of the hidden ballads.
Yeah.
Like those suckers are great pieces of music, man.
I'm sorry. I thought I heard an AC/DC by somebody.
That was Jordan.
Oh, that may have been a slight at ACDC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You are one smart man.
It's okay. I'm getting ready to cause a fight.
Every song sounds the same.
I'm going to cause a
What do you-
fight
what
when
do you
I
got, Matt?
bring up mine.
What do you
Early
got?
stuff, great.
I want to get
Later
everybody
stuff
else's first before I say mine because I'm going to cause a
I
fight.
think I should maybe piss off everybody that lives around us and say Leonard Skinner is too.
Oh, I don't care.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Nobody really comes to mind. Like I've gotten to a point where I feel like if you're making a living doing it, hey, more power to you. I don't have to listen to you. You know what I mean?
Hey.
I don't have to buy
Hey.
it myself. So I don't really
Hey,
have
Jordan.
anybody.
Yes. What's up?
AC/DC. I agree. By the time that it got to where it was, they are way overrated. However, when Bon Scott was still alive and making music, I don't
Yep.
think they got anywhere near the respect they
They
deserve.
were
Oh,
underrated till 1991. I mean,
Yeah.
even when Brian Johnson came in, up until about 1991, that's when they started becoming a little more overrated.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. The Doors are overrated too.
Are they though?
Yes, they are.
Are they?
Yeah.
Here's where we're gonna have a
Is
fight.
it because that kids that never listen to them walk around in one of their shirts? Or
Yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much what pisses people off about it now. Yeah.
No.
yeah,
So-
I don't
I
think
never
they're
owned a Doors
overrated
shirt, by the
because
way.
I couldn't tell you a Doors song.
I think he was a songwriter. I think he was a great singer. I think he was a songwriter. And
Thank you,
look
Jordan.
at the lyrics, they were
Jesus Christ.
terrible.
Wow.
Fucking genius.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
What? Wait, let
Genius.
Tiny's gonna have a conniption.
No, he really is. He really is. Tiny, check
I
this
enjoy
out.
Riders in the Sky, but if you look at the lyrics, they're terrible.
Tiny,
They
check
are
this out.
terrible
Jordan?
written lyrics.
Check this out. Okay. The Doors as a band were a great band. Love them. Jim Morrison, he's not a poet. He's not a genius. He's not the damn Lizard King. He's a drunken charlatan who fronted a decent rock band that should have been lumped in with dozens of others in the 60s.
God. Oof.
I,
Now,
I don't know that I can be a part of this podcast anymore.
Little disclaimer.
now
here,
here's the thing.
expressed in this
Now,
this
the
episode
only
are
song
not reflective on Dead
Now
Pin
look,
Studios.
I'm even talking about his vocal acuity because he was an act. Jim Morrison was an act. He's an
Yes.
admitted act. Anybody that knew him was said it was an act. He admitted to everybody that it was an act, even to Pamela DeBar, the groupie that he had relations with. But they also play to his strengths as opposed to, with songs like Light My Fire, Touch Me Baby, Love Me Two Times. His voice sounded the same in all of them. He was a
Look,
very limited vocalist.
Yeah,
Look,
I can agree with that.
okay,
But
I can give you that.
a lot
He
of
was
bands
not.
tended to play towards the flaws of their singers. He shied away
and
from it.
That's not necessarily a bad thing. Did
All right,
you
I'm
say
gonna
he
let
shied away from it?
Let us
I'm
know when
gonna-
you pick your
I'm gonna
jaw
let
off
everybody-
the floor, Mick.
Well, I'm going to let everybody else get their opinions out before I go into my.
Now, it
small
doesn't mean
daughter.
that I don't love his music. That does not mean I don't love the band. Because if there's a Doors song on the radio, of course I listen to it because it's awesome. But the lyrics. Let's go with Riders on the Storm. My personal favorite song of the Doors. Okay, this is my personal favorite that I love. That's on my phone. I love this song. But listen to these lyrics. There's a killer on the road. His brain is squirming like a toad. Take a long holiday. Let your children play. If you give this man a ride, sweet memory will die. Killer on the road. And if that qualifies as poetry, I'm Walt Whitman, okay?
Yeah.
I think what I get from that is don't be picking up hitchhikers.
Yeah, but if okay, so my only argument to this is if you're going to call Morrison a drunk charlatan, then basically every author that you enjoy reading ever should be lumped into that.
Yeah,
I absolutely agree with that. I do. That does not change my argument, but that is completely true.
Stephen King's a
They
saint.
pen better
Now-
words, so that's bad. They were drunk charlatans and still pen better words than Morrison. Morrison
Stephen
couldn't
King's a
write
leftist fool who just knows who doesn't even write
But-
his own stories anymore.
But here's my question, and I will ask this because
Yeah.
you know that I am an avid Doors fan and I've done the research. Musically, if you're talking about the songs that he wrote, yes, probably overrated from a musical standpoint. However, how many poetry books that Jim Morrison wrote have you read?
A few.
Because I've read several. And to say that he wasn't a poet and an author is kind of a...
I did
I think
not
it's a
say
slight.
that he was not a poet or an author. What I'm saying is that he's completely overrated for the talent that everybody completely blows up his ass. Now, that's not saying he wasn't
but-
talented. That's not saying that he didn't put on a good performance and it wasn't a great band because he hits all those
But-
notches.
But here's my question to you, Matt. Does that not hit on the same note as Kiss?
Like I said,
Because we know that we weren't getting the best stuff. We went to see what the did on stage.
thank you for proving my point, Mick.
You're welcome, Sir Bradley. But I'm just saying, if you can't really say that one band is underrated or not overrated because of their theatrical performance.
Except
That's why
the
it's
difference
so hard
is-
for me to say anybody.
The difference is, again, Jim Morrison was a fake in how he acted. Kiss, they are who they are. 100%.
that's
What do they
true.
put on the makeup? That's the
I get what you're
difference.
saying. It was a facade.
But let's move on to happier times. I do have a band that I think most of us can get behind in saying that they're completely
Yeah, it's gonna
overrated.
be Nickelback, isn't it?
Well, no, I'm not even because that there's enough that doesn't even need to be said about them. I've left them off.
Okay.
I want to guess this band, Matt. Can I give it a guess?
I got one more that will rock the boat at some point.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I think
Tony.
I got one.
Is it U2? Because
No.
U2 is on my list.
No, pop music. No, they are not on there.
Oh, okay.
That they were very close.
I mean, really.
They were my number 2. Okay, but I had to choose one. I chose
Okay.
Maroon 5.
Yeah,
They
them.
don't play instruments anymore.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Come on. Let's be realistic.
I told you. Everybody would be in agreement there.
let me say this: Maroon 5 as the band, I think, is overrated. However, Adam Levine,
Is nothing
He's
but falsetto
extreme-
with abs.
he's extremely talented, man, on that guitar.
How can you tell?
shred it
Everybody's looking at his abs. How can you tell?
because he was on Howard Stern's 60th birthday party celebration, and he sang a cover of Purple Rain, and absolutely killed it. I mean, vocally and guitar-wise, shredded that sucker. It was him and the lead singer from Train doing Purple Rain, and I was so surprised in how great I liked it. It was amazing.
my
And this was
only-
before Prince died, so it wasn't like a sentimental thing.
My only counter to that, Alan, is yes, he probably is, as far as musically goes, really amazing. But the genre and group that he chose to go with, 100% overrated.
Yeah, I think that was kind of like a shortcut to stardom.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes.
That's what he wants.
But
and
as far as
nothing
him
else.
himself, I think he's a talented dude. But the band, I'm not a fan.
Well, he
Maroon
may be,
5,
but,
yeah.
but that's always the perception that I've got from them. You know, the kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Not necessarily
Yeah.
them, but him.
So Bradley, I'm kind of intrigued on the band you're thinking of.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Y'all sitting down?
Yeah, go ahead.
Nirvana.
Overrated?
Yeah, I was
Overrated.
there.
Not to say I don't enjoy them, because I
Well, what
I
do we got
a
next
lot.
week, Matt?
This is the finale. There is no next week.
Yeah, we have ended friendships here this evening.
We are ending the season with Brad saying, or excuse me, with Sir Bradley saying that Nirvana is overrated.
Sir Bradley, you have offended
I
Mr.
want-
Alan
I
Hogan so
want to
much that he
know-
referred to you as Sir Bradley.
I want
I
to
said it would
know-
rock the boat.
I
want
have
to
one that'll
know-
rock even further, but we'll get there.
Go
I
ahead,
want
go
to
ahead.
know what Sir Bradley's how did you come to this decision?
Basically, since Courtney killed Kurt, I think
Oh,
they've
God.
got a lot of sympathy fans.
What? Sympathy fans?
Wow, I felt that. I completely felt that.
Look here.
That
Do
is-
you think that Billy Bob that lives down the road? Do you think that Billy Bob that lives down the road from you started like Michael Jackson after his doctor killed him?
But Billy Bob's not going to like Michael Jackson to begin with, so
Exactly.
Well,
Ugh.
but here's my
Sympathy
thing.
fans. What?
Here's my thing. We can use kind of the same argument that Matt used for the Doors just a few minutes ago. Are you just mad because people that never listened to them when they came out are wearing their T-shirts? Or
That's not my reason.
Guys
That's
are-
not my reason at all.
you guys are
People
hurt.
discover stuff at different times, man.
I'm
Like,
sorry. I have not really heard what Jordan's opinion on this was.
I mean, I believe they're overrated for what they are. I do understand their influence and what they brought, but
Exactly.
I
were a
think
lot
their
of-
influences like
influences things.
Mudhoney and a number of others could have gotten a lot more respect than Nirvana. But I, you know what, Sir Bradley, I agree with you. I do think they are overrated. Now, as the most overrated, I can't say that,
No,
but I do
don't
think they're
necessarily
overrated.
think they're
I do.
the most overrated, but by no means.
Yeah.
But to some degree, yes, I think they are.
I would agree. I mean, they had a huge influence on the grunge scene. They introduced it into the popular mainstream.
That's the thing, though. They slid into the grunge scene because that was already established by the time they came around.
Oh yeah.
They slid in and then they took it over, but then they sort of became commercialized, which was kind of really against what Kurt Cobain wanted anyway. He was like one of those people that didn't want to.
With that too.
Yeah, he didn't want fame. He was like some of the others that wanted to make a living doing what he loved.
Yeah, that's why at the core of the group, I cannot, in good conscience, say that they're overrated.
But he has.
I
But
think
that
the-
group
I
has to
think-
be because of everything that came with the fame.
I think I killed Mick.
Nah, man, I'm enjoying the combo.
I just, I don't know. Personally, I think, yes, they're very talented musicians, but that's the issue we keep going with this is like you're trying to separate the members. It's the band itself. And being in bands previously myself, you count it as the band, not the members. Because if you start just going individual members, then yeah, of course they're not going to be overrated.
Who knows the bass player for Nirvana? Nobody. Other than the fans.
Dude, it's Chris. Crap. I can't
Exactly
think
my
of his last name.
point.
But I can say Chris Novoselic.
It's not Kurt Cobain. Dave Grohl. No.
Is that how you pronounce his last name? Novoselic.
It's Novoselic.
Yeah, I think.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes. So ha to you, Turb Bradley.
Jordan, did you say you had an overrated?
Yeah, and it may not be agreed upon, but it's my opinion anyways.
So far,
I
you're
think-
sounding really smart. So,
I think Led Zeppelin is, and that's just my opinion.
okay, he's still smart. He's still a genius.
As the most overrated, I can't say that, but I do agree they are kind of an overrated band.
I mean, if you ask anyone about an old rock band and it's someone who's not engrossed in music, they're going to put Led Zeppelin into their top 10.
You know what? I just had this very strange feeling. You know those YouTube videos where little kids are exposed to music that was out?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I feel like that's what this episode is. And we just have no business. There's an older person somewhere sitting listening to this going, oh, these kids.
Here's why Led
Yeah,
Zeppelin.
yeah.
I actually have reasons for this, and it's not just because I don't like their music or anything like that. It's not something very shallow. It's more the fact that I believe, one, that Robert Plant is a very overrated singer, especially if you hear his later stuff. The lyrics, yes, they followed with a lot of Norse mythology, which is interesting, but a lot of their songs and riffs were stolen.
Yes,
Well,
that's because Jimmy Page was a blues player. He was never a rock player. His bread and butter was the blues.
Where did they come from? The riffs.
There's a bunch of them, believe me.
Oh, a bunch of them, including a lot of black artists.
Yes.
That's a lot of black blues players.
Now, was it straight up stolen? Or
Yes,
did
it
they,
wasn't
like,
sampled.
make
It wasn't
interpret
anything
it
like
their
that.
own
It
way?
wasn't interpreted. It was straight up stolen. And that's admitted. That is admitted. Jimmy Page has a book where he admitted, yes, I did this. It got them to where they wanted. Now, that's not saying they weren't successful at it, but
and
they
they
did.
Yeah.
to do it. They had their label that was pushing them hard
If y'all
to do
can't,
it,
if
too.
That's
audience, if you
tough.
can't tell, I read a lot of autobiographies. Okay.
Yeah.
You ever read
was
about
this
Elvis
stuff-
Presley? Because he's
Was the
overrated,
stuff
too.
that they stole, like, is there actual
His
recording
mom,
of this?
Tiny's mom is going to show up at your
I
doorstep
don't
and shoot
give
you
a
dead. He's going to treat you
Elvis
like
Presley
you
is
treat that TV.
overrated as hell.
They have actually pulled some recordings from other artists that were not even known, and they've found these riffs that were stolen, taken in, and introduced into their songs.
Were they copywritten?
I mean, if you're going to get into copywriting,
Not
at
back
that
then. Not that back then. There wasn't a lot of
No,
stuff like that.
That's
was-
just from my own personal information.
No,
Like,
that back then there wasn't a whole lot of copyright especially for a lot of the black singers and all.
Especially
Yeah.
for black singers.
Oh
yeah.
man, that's awful.
Yeah.
let's
Uh,
the travesties of patents and people who have done it before people, but Edison was still patents.
I mean, I don't know that much about him, man. I consider him a one-hit wonder because Stairway to Heaven is all I really.
Oh no, they've got Black Dog.
A lot
Wait,
of love.
Yeah.
wait. Can I just interject here?
Yes,
Because I am a big Led Zeppelin fan.
I am too. I love Zeppelin.
They're one of my favorite bands.
I enjoy their music.
But as considering them overrated, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
We talked about this a little bit at one point in time, but Led Zeppelin 4.
Do you know what
No.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. But
sorry, y'all. Sorry, I wasn't talking to you.
That's okay.
yeah, you're good.
My bad.
But Led Zeppelin 4, their album cover did not include the name of the band. It was just a
They did
character
that because
drawing.
they didn't want the audience just buying their album because they were Led Zeppelin.
because the name Led Zeppelin was on it, and they got flack for that from
Yeah,
a
they
lot of critics, saying the only reason that these people are buying albums is because it says Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Now,
I'll say
that
this
being
about them.
said,
Go ahead.
I was just saying, that being said, yes, I kind of lump Led Zeppelin into the same genre as we were talking about with The Doors and Kiss. I'm not listening to Led Zeppelin to get something deep and something
Right, it's a
hard
good time.
feeling, but
Yeah.
their music is good.
Yeah, Kashmir is
even-
one of my all-time favorite songs.
Even
And that was a stolen
being-
song too.
Yeah, even if it was something that somebody else did, as far as the band goes, they were great. But did they get overhyped? Absolutely, 100%.
I will say this, and what little I know about them, they do have one of the coolest. They got really lucky with their name because that tag, "Let the Lead Out." Like I like that. But I couldn't tell you more than like one or two of their songs.
Real quick,
You'll never catch me wearing a Led Zeppelin shirt. I'll say that.
let's go ahead and knock out rap and punk. Rap, I chose 50 Cent. What do you guys think?
No, I can say 50.
He doesn't even exist anymore.
I
Yes, he does. He just wrote a book. You leave him alone.
think anything past 2005 is overrated.
Here's what I put and see if y'all agree or disagree.
Wait, can I guess?
Yes.
Lil Wayne.
No, I said 50 Cent.
Dude, overrated. Definitely
Yeah.
Vanilla
Yes.
Ice.
His
No.
Watch your mouth. Just joking.
his words are basic and just angry. You put him up against artists such as Eminem or even Ice Cube, they don't compare. They dominate in lyrical flow, story, and intelligence, and serve to move the rap community forward with groundbreaking material. 50 Cent does nothing.
50 Cent made it big.
50 was just a
But-
good time, man. Like
But
50.
here's
Overrated.
the thing, though. Here's the thing. You want to talk about as far as musically and kind of being an actor. 50 is straight. He's not doing drugs. He's not out there drinking. So all his songs about being in the club and doing all these drugs and getting drunk are bullshit. And the only reason that I think 50 ever got big was because he had Eminem back.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree with that. Yes, absolutely.
Completely overrated. I
I
guess we're in
I
agreement to
think
that,
it's-
right?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I think I disagree.
I just like him. You know.
Oh
as
yeah,
a-
that goes without saying.
just
I like
as an
50,
entity.
but
I mean, don't get me wrong. If we're talking about overrated, I said Lil Wayne, but Kanye West, 110% overrated. The
Yeah, I'm
man,
not like sure. I'm like
The
not
sample
sure
game.
how the he has survived.
the man got popular, and let me tell you this story. The man got popular because he put out an album called Through the Wire, which was his first album, and he recorded it while his jaw was broken and wired shut. And that's why it's called Through the Wire. And that's how he got his style that made him popular.
Well-
but beyond anything that he's done since then is all pop bullshit and has no effect on anything that has happened in
I
the
don't
rap
know,
community.
man. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a huge Kanye fan, but 808s and Heartbreak, that was I listened to that album start to finish.
Sir Bradley's holding his finger up like he's in class.
Yeah, I want it to be the last thing we discuss.
Okay.
In general or just
in
for
general.
this? Okay, well, let's go to punk then. I put Sex Pistols.
I'm in agreement. There were better bands like The Clash.
Yeah,
The
Clash
Buzzcocks,
were better and
a
broke
lot
more
of them.
barriers than the Sex Pistols any day. Half of them, look, the band couldn't even really know how to play their instruments, and they admitted that too.
Hey, I have a really controversial pick on this, by the way, and
Yeah.
you probably are all going to hate me.
Go
but
ahead.
I think the Ramones were overrated.
I could care less either way.
I actually can see where you get that. I don't hate them as artists. I think they're great as performers, and they've put out some great stuff. But they are, especially the merchandise I see people walking around. Especially, I know they only know 2 songs. They're overrated.
Well, again, I feel kind of the same way you guys do about the Doors and maybe Nirvana. If Joey Ramone had not died, I don't think that they would be anywhere near as big today as they are.
I'll agree
Now,
with
were
that.
they influential? They were influential on the punk culture, but do I think they are overrated? Yes, I do.
Were you comparing them to Nirvana in that when you said you don't think if he had not died they would be as big? Because I think Nirvana would have went on to do so much more great stuff if Kurt had lived.
See, I don't. I think Kurt
I
and
don't.
Dave Grohl were on the outs. I think the band was on its last legs when they did Unplugged. And I think that Pearl Jam would have been a much more juggernaut in that genre.
100% agree. I don't think that Kurt would have went on if he had continued to live. I don't think he would have went on to be able to produce the songs that he was producing. I think he had hit his limit, and I think he
And it's not because he
done.
didn't have the talent to do it. I think mentally
Yeah,
and
it's
emotionally
not.
he was done.
Like his heart wasn't in it.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
done.
I think he was just done. I don't think it was anything to do with talent.
I agree, but I don't know, man. There's a part of me like the what if factor, because I know he was very supportive of Dave doing his own thing, because Dave has said, he took songs that would eventually become Foo Fighters.
Yes, he was recording on the side, and he was
to
getting ready
Kurt.
split.
Right, and Kurt would say, "Yeah, that's good," or he'd give his opinion. I honestly believe that they would have split, and it would have been mutual, and Foo Fighters would have still happened. But I really believe Kurt had more, man. Like even if it was like a collaboration with Dave with another artist, just like a one-off thing, he could have done something else.
Do I believe that Kurt could have been big?
Like with time, he could have done something else.
Yes. No. Yeah. I 100% agree. I think Kurt could have been big, but at the time, if you look at the situation with Nirvana, he was done, man. He didn't want the success. He didn't want the commercialism.
Yeah.
I think he was more on the screw the record label and what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he could have broken off and done some really good solo stuff, and I believe that. But for Nirvana as a band, I think they were done.
Yes, sir, Bradley.
I do too.
Chili Peppers are considered punk, right?
They're weird.
They're a mixed bag. I mean, they touch a lot of different genres. They touch ska, punk, alternative. They've got some pop in there, rock. They're just a little bit of weird.
They're definitely a band that I think is overrated.
I agree with
But
that.
I do enjoy them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Under the Bridge and the Californication
Blood, Sex,
album
Magic,
were
yeah,
fucking amazing.
great album.
I'm sorry. Blood Sugar Sex Magic is the best album that they ever put out ever, and y'all can fight me.
I'm sorry.
That's not saying. Look,
I enjoy them. I do, but I lost complete respect for them since like the Super Bowl. Like they've proven they will sell out if they have to, and that's not even playing their music and just performing.
Now,
and it's definitely against everything punk.
All right, now
Yeah.
we have one more genre, and then we're gonna have to call it quits and do the nostalgic item. But I'm gonna mention this band, and I'm wondering if it's gonna cause a fight.
Okay.
What genre? I'm sorry.
Metal.
Metal. Okay.
It's the last genre
Okay.
because
Okay.
it's a juggernaut. As overrated,
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Okay, I could see that.
Metallica.
Yep.
I could see that.
100%. Oh my God, are you serious?
They had some great early stuff, but they just, dear God.
Well,
I
hey,
consider
guys.
it one of the greatest. I wrote the greatest storm of our time.
I'm sorry,
Well,
Alan.
real quick, I gotta interject. It's been great listening to everybody bash other people, but no, I've got to run. It's been a fantastic season, and I'll see you guys later.
Take care, man. Enjoy it.
Or you
Goodbye,
enjoy.
sir.
Bye.
So, Matt.
Yeah.
You know that we both are really big, or we used to be really big Metallica fans.
Oh yeah, I'm still a fan.
I'm still a big fan.
I enjoy the music.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I would just like to say, and Justice for All, and Kill 'Em All, and Ride the Lightning were amazing albums
Yeah.
for what they were at the time. And then when they cut their hair and sold out for the Load and Reload albums, I was kind of done.
Yeah.
And beyond after that, I wouldn't even have. I liked the Black Album. They had a couple of great tracks. I think one is one of my favorite tracks ever, and it's off the Black Album.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, they completely sold out, and it's kind of like we were talking about with AC/DC. Like everything they put out after and Justice for All just kind of sounded the same. It was the same music.
Now here's something that really makes me angry about bands like Metallica and the fans that back them immensely to make them overrated, is that when you look at a band, no matter what genre it is, if you say that they are the creators of a subgenre, you better make sure they are the first.
Yep.
Because if you asked anybody who invented thrash metal, I guarantee you 99% of them would say Metallica, which is bullshit because you have bands like Overkill, Anvil, Venom. I mean, there's so many that came out before Metallica that had already gotten comfortable in that genre and breaking barriers, that to say that, that's just over how overhyped they get.
I just here's my thing. Kirk Hammett, who is their guitarist, I think is an amazing guitarist. James Hetfield has some talent on a guitar. His vocals are trash. They've always been trash.
Oh yeah.
And Lars Ulrich is just a dick.
I hate him so much.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're just being honest, man.
Well, his influence on just later albums, which became more and more, showed how much of that. Like, let's not even get into Saint Anger. I could even talk about the newest of the albums, Death Magnet, and
Death Magnet, yeah.
And he had a heavy influence on that, and you can hear it. It sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so if we're talking about Saint Anger, I will have to give them a little bit of saving grace. I did enjoy the album.
Jordan, I'm sending you a picture. Don't open it yet.
But I enjoyed I enjoyed Saint Anger because basically I think it sounded like they recorded it in somebody's garage. Like, the only reason that I liked it is because I thought the production value was trash, and it sounded like something that would have come out in the 80s as opposed to the 2000s.
Yeah.
What's really bad is it had a heavy amount of production.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing. That's kind of what makes me hate it as much as I love it, is because they tried to make it sound stupid, and they did. I don't know. I like the music though, and I really love the new bassist.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yes, sir, Bradley.
Okay.
Oh, great new bassist. I actually follow that person. very good.
I know that this is probably one that we would probably have strong opinions about and want to speak about, but I know we're running really long on time. And Matt is probably the only one that heard me, but I wanted to speak my mind that Elvis Presley is very overrated. He was a performer, not a musician. You can't change my mind. I'm sorry.
So I will say this because I grew up in a house where Elvis was revered. If I can
Matt
say
has
that.
made me aware of this.
Yeah. But I don't disagree with you. I think Elvis stole all of his music.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was just under the impression that he was given it by the music industry.
He used to write gospel music before that. Like, if you look into his history, that's what he did. But when he came into the rock scene of what it was at that point, yeah, it was stolen.
Yeah,
Straight
absolutely.
And let's be honest, his gospel stuff is way better than any of his popular stuff. Yep. And I will tell you that 110%.
And I don't even like gospel music. I don't even like it, but I know it's good.
But let's all be honest. The song "In the Ghetto" is probably one of the best songs ever written.
I like that song. So much so that even South Park made fun of it.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Elvis was kind of one of those. And let me serve Sir Bradley to this point. Elvis was one of those people that was put on a pedestal when he shouldn't have been because of what he was doing at the time.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of his later stuff sold, and he sold a bunch of movies based on his name at what he did earlier in his career, and I don't think he deserved it.
You know what's funny? I did not realize that this was going to be the last Deadpan Studio podcast. As much peoples were going to tick off, we'll probably lose every single one of our listeners.
Email us.
Yeah, email us.
Email opinions.
I think we've run this into the ground. Let's go ahead and let's do the nostalgic item of the week.
Okay.
Audience, if you agree or disagree with us, seriously, email us. We'd like for something else to read on here.
Let us know, please.
Yeah, let us know.
We'll give you a shout out.
Yeah. Now, Sir Bradley, I've got a picture here for you, so you don't even have to use your phone.
Matt.
Oh, okay. I've been sitting here waiting.
Wait. Did you send something? Because I don't have anything.
I haven't yet. I'm getting ready to send it. I did send it to Jordan. I told him not to look at it, but I'm sending it to you now, Tiny. And it's not necessarily the title on it, but what it actually is. This is the nostalgic item of the week.
Oh my god, dude!
That is in storage right now.
Huh.
Really?
Laserdisc.
Laserdisc.
You know.
Yeah.
Man, I'm kind of embarrassed to say because of kind of the newer environment that I've been in the past few months, but I've heard a lot about this, but I don't know anything about it.
It's just like a DVD, only it's much bigger. If you look
Wait,
at this picture,
you don't know what a
laser disc.
Oh,
I'm talking about the story.
Oh, the story.
Oh.
Yeah, Arsenic Lace. Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Laserdisc.
I
I
know
was
what
like, really? You don't know
Laserdisc
what?
are.
Oh, yeah, I did too. I was like, Laserdisc.
But yeah, I've heard this
Hey,
discussed
Matt?
at links, but I don't. know
yeah,
what it
because
is.
a couple of different theater groups were wanting to put that on in the next couple of seasons.
Yeah.
I was in it.
But yes, Laserdisc, a home video format, and the
Matt?
first commercial optical disc storage medium. Yes.
So you are aware that I know our friend John.
Yes.
I will not say his last name, but you realize he is the keeper of Dead Media, right?
100%.
Yeah, I used to live with John for a while.
Shout out to John. Yes.
John, Jenny, Chris, yes, we love you all. Please listen. However, he is the connoisseur of Dead Media, and I used to live with him. And talking about Dead Media, this man owned 2 beta players and several TV shows on beta tape. And if any of you don't know Yeah, if any of you don't know what Betamax is, Betamax was the preferred.
It was.
Well, I'm just saying, it was the preferred media of the time until pornography adapted to VHS.
Yes.
And when porn went to VHS, VHS outsold Betamax, and everybody switched to
follow
VHS.
porn.
Yes.
It really does.
And DVD for porn knocked out VHS,
Blu-ray.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, but nobody needs Blu-ray and 4 HD in porn. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, if you don't know, look, let me tell you this. If you
But it
don't know
was
what you're
between
looking
that
at
and
now,
like HD DVD. Between the two,
well, I'm
I picked
just
Blu-ray, which I think was the better.
I'm-
option to go with, but-
again, I'm just saying, if you don't know what you're looking at now, probably shouldn't be watching it.
That's right.
But yeah, but he had a Laserdisc player, dude, with several titles, and yeah, amazing stuff. Like, that was the medium at the time.
Did you quit going out of bounds?
No, I think that was the sound of we're going to bring this episode to a close.
Yeah, let's close it.
All right. So once again, everybody, thank you, listeners. Thank you, everybody, for a great season. We're going to take a little hiatus after this show. We've got Kat's podcast coming up here in a few weeks, and then we're going to have BSF season 2, and that'll bring us around to the first of the year. Another small hiatus, and then we'll be back in for more SOKy Nostalgia fun. So, one more time. All right. So, if you would like to find us, we are at SOKy Nostalgia at gmail.com, deadpanstudio18 at gmail.com. We have social media. We have at SOKy Nostalgia and at deadpanstudio18 on both Facebook and Twitter. You can't miss us. And if you're listening to us, you're on one of the streaming services. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Spotify, as well as Podbean, deadpanstudio.podbean.com. That is it. That is season 2 of SOKy Nostalgia for Deadpan Studio Podcast. And with that, for Deadpan Studio Podcast and SOKy Nostalgia, I have been your host, the Matt.
Sir Bradley.
Tiny.
And Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan, for joining us. Everybody, we'll catch y'all soon. By the way, real Metallica died with Cliff Burton.
Oh.